You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, explaining the possibilities in your love life and examining your Mantourage dating experiences. I am here to help you do life and love on your terms by tipping the scales of love permanently in your favor. So don't forget to text this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends, and let's get started. Hello, single smart female. It's your romantic fairy godmama, and today we have a romantic fairy godmama semi-quickie. Yes, I'm going to say semi-quickie. It could be still a quickie, but probably a semi-quickie. And it's a two-parter, so you'll have to wait till the next episode for the rest, but you're going to get some good stuff today. Now, today's topic is transactional dating versus Mantourage dating. We've got some really great stuff here. Now, I'm going to tell you most of you hot mamas are transactionally dating. Most people are being taught transactional dating, and it's a load of crap that you're being fed. But I want to discuss it a little more today so that you understand why it's not really truly serving you, how it's not helping your love life, and it only has temporary results, meaning it might help for a little bit, but at some point, well, I'm going to explain later, but at some point it's going to stop helping because it is a patch and not a fix, okay? So number one, today we're talking about, again, transactional dating versus Mantourage dating. Well, let's go ahead and define that. Transactional dating is when you learn how to, if you do this, or he does this, then you do this. He says this, then you do this. And it's very it's very narrowed down to specifically what's happening and doesn't incorporate a lot of other things. Mantourage dating, on the other hand, is a lifestyle experience that incorporates all of you. Transactional dating is exclusively about him, okay? It's how to react to whatever he is doing, what he is saying, how he is showing up, and it incorporates none of you. And I hope you're starting to gather from me even just saying this. This is the stuff like, all the secrets into the male mindset, all the, how to make him think this about you and do this about, all of that is based on transactionally dating, and it's missing you. And you are a smart, ambitious, successful woman. And if that's what you think is going to make you happy long term, you're sadly mistaken. So again, transactional dating is all about him. He does this, so you should do this. It has very little creativity. It has very little of you. It actually doesn't have really any of you incorporated in it. Mantourage dating, on the other hand, this is a lifestyle experience. If you work with me in Secret Society, there's some front loading at the top of the experience. There are some things that you have to actually exert on and get done. And then after that, you learn how to fold it into your life, and you learn how to incorporate all of you in dating, and how you show up is going to determine the longevity and the brilliance of the results that you get in dating in love. Okay, so number two, transactional dating actually works pretty well for stripping, like if you were a stripper, and not really truly building relationships. So, okay, I had a client one time who had become an extraordinarily successful woman. Part of her route to get there was stripping, and she told me about all this and was kind of introducing me into this world via what she had done. It was so much fun to listen to, and I learned so many incredible things from her and listening and gathering from her experience. And she was explaining to me that she wasn't big into building relationships with the same men over and over again. Her route, her method, the one that she liked the most, is that she would go in, she would get the dance, she would get the money, and she'd get out of there. She didn't have any desire. And she made a lot better money that way because she didn't have to deal with all the headache as well. She had no desire to build relationships. She went in, got it done, got her money, and got out, which I thought was genius. Absolutely genius. It works perfectly in this scenario. Okay? Now, there are women, I totally concede there are a lot of women who make a lot of good money in escorts and stuff, building relationships, but I know that there's a lot more headache that comes with that as well. So I really liked her method, and had I ever been a stripper, I think that would have been a good method for me. Okay? Anyways, there's a lot of other stuff in that. But what I'm trying to say is transactionally dating, which is kind of the same scenario in stripping. It's very
in the moment. Is he doing this? You respond this way. Experience. It's really great for that scenario, not great for building relationships and creating everything that you want romantically. Mantourage dating, again, as we mentioned, it incorporates you, and it's also a lot more forgiving. Transactionally dating is not near as forgiving. So what do I mean by that? It allows for the expansion of a relationship, but it's also more forgiving because we're not anchored into everything working right that second. You're not obsessed with trying to figure out exactly the right thing to say in that second. Now, adored women, the women who work with me, they become brilliant at romantic rebuttal, at engaging, all those kind of things. But it hinges on the fact that they don't have to be perfect in order to develop. And that development and understanding men and allowing things to unfold teaches them that they don't have to put all their eggs in one place to build something successful. And they see through the experience of Mantourage dating with me and having a romantic fairy godmama that they can take a deep breath, relax, and allow their genius to develop and unfold and watch men who may initially not be all that into them fall madly in love with them. Why? Because there isn't all that pressure on you to execute. It doesn't have to be transactional. You don't have to figure out everything that's going on in his head. You just naturally become a genius because you're incorporating yourself and you are addressing all the pieces of you that are important for that to unfold. All right. And now finally for today, for this part 1, we're going to do number 3. And this is a big one, especially for smart, ambitious women who are going after some of the coolest shit in the world and building empires and conquering and, making their place known in the world. Transactional dating is really exhausting. Again, you've already got pieces of the world that you want to dive into and to grab onto and to build empires. Having to figure out men all the time is exhausting. It is 100% exhausting, and it screws with you mentally. Let me repeat that. It screws with you mentally when you're always thinking and obsessing and trying to figure him out. So if you're thinking and obsessing and trying to figure him out right now, you're transactionally dating. Stop doing that. Stop doing that right in this moment. Now, if you need some help with this, I'm going to give you the things. There's not a ton of things that you actually need to know about men to be successful with men. It's really about learning how to Mantourage date properly. But I'm going to give you today, go to explainmen.com, and I'm going to give you a free mini class on the things that you actually do need to know about men in order to have successful, loving relationships with them. Okay, again, explainmen.com. There's only a few things that you really need to know. And then in the next episode, we will get busy on the other pieces so that you can start putting this together the right way, something that's actually going to work well for you.
Hey, Lover Girl. Thanks for joining me today and texting this episode to all of your single smart girlfriends. If you have a question that you'd like to submit for on-air consideration or want to learn more about working with me, then meet me over at singlesmartfemale.com. See you there.